It's replaced by vellus, which is short, fine, non-pigmented hair. I guess that's more like what I'm talking about then. The lanugo is more like before you're born. And then eventually the vellus is replaced by, what's it called? The regular, long, thick, pigmented hair, like normal scalp and eyebrow hair. It's terminal hair, and it replaces the vellus hair around the time of puberty. So, like, you used to not have hair under here, you used to not have hair on your legs, you know. That's what happens. The vellus gets replaced by the terminal hair. So, there we go. So, between 40 and 100 strands of hair are lost every day from your head. It sounds like a lot. It's not. There's tons of hair on your head. So don't freak out. It's not a big deal. And if you see more than that coming out, it might be because, especially if you have curly hair, it might be because you didn't brush it out all the way, stuff like that. Don't freak yourself out. If it's really abnormal, you want to see a doctor. That's what I would do, because I'd be afraid that something wrong was going on inside my body. Because usually, if something changes, diet, anything, you'll see it first in your hair and probably your skin. Androgenetic hair loss. So alopecia or excessive hair loss may be caused by a fungal or bacterial infection or inflammatory disease of the scalp. Androgenetic alopecia is a combination of heredity, hormones, and age that causes progressive shrinking or miniaturization of certain scalp follicles. This shrinking causes a shortening of hair's growing cycle over time. As the active growth phase, the anagen, becomes shorter, the resting phase, the telogen, becomes longer. Eventually, there's no growth at all. Alright, so if your client is a woman, ask her about crash diets, oral contraceptives, and medications for certain cardiovascular conditions, vitamin deficiencies, and thyroid disorders to rule out hair loss created by these factors. In men, androgenetic alopecia is known as male pattern baldness and frequently progresses to its familiar horseshoe-shaped fringe of hair. Women with androgenetic alopecia usually first notice gradual thinning of their hair, mostly on top of their heads, as their scalp becomes more visible. Now, just because a woman has androgenetic alopecia does not mean their hair will become that horseshoe shape. I've never seen a woman walking around with that. But over time, the hair on the sides of the head may also become thinner, but women retain the front hairline, which is usually straight or like an M shape. I guess maybe an M because of like widow's peak like I have. Okay, so let's see. Alright, I'm going to do that. We didn't even really go over that in class. Okay, there are different types of hair loss other than that. One of them is postpartum alopecia, and that's when you lose hair after having a baby. The temporary hair loss at the conclusion of pregnancy, it's caused because the hair stays longer in the anagen cycle during pregnancy, and then after childbirth, these hairs enter the telogen phase. Alopecia areata, let's see, that's the sudden loss of hair in round or irregular patches without display of an inflamed scalp. This type of hair loss occurs in individuals who have no obvious skin disorder or serious disease. Alopecia areata is an autoimmune skin disease that is confined to a few areas, is often reversed in a few months, though reoccurrences may occur. So, next is telogen effluvium. I believe it's effluvium. It's a strange sounding word, and it looks weird to read too, so pardon me. Premature shedding of the hair in the resting phase, telogen, hence telogen effluvium, can result from various causes such as childbirth, shock, drug intake, and fever. Some women also experience sudden hair loss when they stop taking birth control pills or if they follow a crash diet too low in protein. The hair loss is usually reversed once the condition is corrected. Okay, now traction or traumatic alopecia. The hair loss is due to repetitive traction on the hair by pulling or twisting. Traction alopecia is caused by wearing tight chignons or ponytails, so anything really tight rollers, tight cornrows, excessive tension during brushing or combing, especially when the hair is wet. I don't usually do anything to my hair when it's wet. It's curly. It doesn't really make any sense to, unless I'm going to blow it out, I guess. But I don't really do that ever either. So, this hair loss is often caused by mechanical damage. However, it can also be caused by chemical damage, such as excessive application of permanent wave solution. This condition is usually reversed once the trauma has stopped. Hair loss treatments. Okay, well, this one I thought was funny. FDA-approved products that regrow hair or prevent hair loss. Now, I'm going to say, since if any of you have been paying attention, you know that I'm kind of naturopathic side. Yeah. So I don't take a lot of stock in the FDA. Sorry. They haven't done a lot for me, or for us, for that matter. Yeah, being in the health science profession and being around people who are really kind of on the natural end of things, kind of learn that the FDA, their regulations, not too strict, and the people checking off on them, not too strict about them either. So, yeah, sorry, bashing things. So, products that provide an ideal environment for possible hair regrowth or loss prevention. So, something that changes your scalp, so it's a more accommodating place for hair to grow. And then we have surgical options that are available mostly for men. Hair transplants, hair plugs, and scalp reductions are performed by physicians or dermatologists. Okay, scalp reduction, I think this is what she was talking about, and it really freaked me out. And I don't know if it is. They take like the bald part out and they bring your scalp forward. No thank you. I would not really want to do that. I heard transplants hurt a lot, but the results are really good. So, and I know that like losing hair for guys, it can be a really like emasculating thing, so I don't know, I guess it's worth a shot. Wigs, toupees, hair additions, or hair weaving are available as non-medical options. Let's see. And then cosmetic hair thickeners are products designed to volumize the hair. These products do not grow hair, put a halt to hair loss. They simply coat the hair, therefore giving it more body. So we talked about Rogaine today too. And Rogaine's one of those things that once you start, you can't stop it ever. You start it, that's it. Because it'll have the results, but you have to keep using it. It's kind of like Proactiv, or the stories I've heard about Proactiv. If you keep using it, it keeps making your skin better. As soon as you stop, it doesn't work anymore. Because if it did, would those people be making any money? No. And I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong that they do that, but people are allowed to do that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. They have this Look Good, Feel Better. It's offered through the National Partnership of... And then it just gives you things. The Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association Foundation, the American Cancer Society, and the National Cosmetology Association. So this has to do with cancer patients and stuff like that, because it's hard to lose your hair through chemotherapy. So they offer things to people. I'm not sure what they offer. I'm not in that position, so I haven't looked into it, but I think it's important to know that it's available. So if you know anyone, or if anyone ends up going through this, or you yourself are going through this, or someone you know, I just think it's good, because for women, a lot about being feminine, we love our hair, stuff like that. Guys probably too, but not as much as women with the hair. Look good, feel better. So that's pretty much it. Section 7.3 goes into draping, shampooing, and scalp massage, but we're not there yet, so I'm not going to cover that. So I'm not going to demonstrate anything. I will do the spiral curls with the curling iron for you guys another time. But they're pretty much the same as the regular curls. You just spiral the hair around the barrel, hold the comb, pop it out, nice spiral curl. But yeah, so today we did a diagonal backward shifted cut. So when we normally take the hair, we want it completely at 0 degrees, which means it's laying against the mannequin's neck or your client's neck, something like that. You don't want to project it at all. We're still at 0 projection though, but instead of keeping the hair parallel with the parting, we shift it to 90 degrees. So you shift the hair. For the backward cut, you shift it forward, and you follow the parting still, and you cut with the hair. So I'll show you guys that more probably when I actually take my mannequin out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know it might be kind of boring if you don't care about any of the actual like technical stuff of hair. Like this video probably didn't do anything for you, but I'm hoping that if you're actually planning on going to cosmetology school, that this is something that you care about, because it's something that you're going to need to learn and you're going to need to know. And the more you learn now, probably the better off you are. So I already knew antigen, catagen, telogen from a forensics class I took in high school. So as much of the stuff you can absorb from this, the better, because I'm not even going over everything, you know. Probably most of it for this chapter though, so it's pretty good. But yeah, wish me sanity for tomorrow and the rest of the week, because it's been rough. Oh yeah, I got a flat tire today. That's right. I think I told you that earlier, but yeah, you should see the size of the fucking thing. And my tire, ridiculous. The guy was like, oh yeah, it looks like a spike from construction. But anyway, enough about me. Enjoy the rest of your night or day, depending on whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.